Testing, testing. Oh, yeah. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Wait What, where we wait and tell things what happens. I'm joking. This is actually a series that I do whenever it comes down to talking about stuff. Yeah. So before I went on my vacation, I actually renounced of making content on YouTube. So now I'm making content again. This is mainly due to the fact that I feel like now with certain creative aspects that I've been doing, I kind of just need to have more of an outlet, and this is what I'm gonna be doing. So yeah, I did do an informal, formal Facebook video, which some people saw, and some people were like, "Well, you're not too formal," and I'm like, "Well, I know." Kind of with those update videos, I'm never really formal, and with these, I'm not very formal. Wait, what's are legitly the most random things I talk about whenever or how I feel. Now, there's a lot to, go through. I went on a cruise to Alaska. It was amazing. I liked it. It was great. And then also with personal stuff and all that good jazz. I had recently gone through some changes in my life, which I don't really know are the for the better yet. It's a lot to think about when something in your life changes, which you weren't thinking that was going to change, kind of thing happens. You're like, oh, okay, that's cool. I'm there. But we all go through things like what I went through, and I will most likely get through it soon. I actually still am having a lot of personal issues other than what actually I went through. And that's just mainly because I'm in a creative slump. When it's like legit, I'm trying to get back into voice acting, which is really hard to do when I have no idea what I want to do. And I've been doing a lot of writing, but I haven't been putting my focus into one project. So I also explained that in my update video, the one that I did before I left for my trip. So I have been writing still. I actually wrote still not much. I think last time, oh, I hit the mic. Last time I did, oh wait, what was a while back? It was 7 months ago. So that's also a thing. I have legitly committed some time though, at least. Doesn't even matter if it's just a couple lines. Been trying to work through some of my stories, and with that one story that I was going on, the one where it talks about the fantasy aspect and all that. I really want to keep working on that, but it's really hard to. It's so hard to, and um, I don't know where I want to go with it because I still never actually finished that whole introduction phase. There's usually in a book where you introduce everything, which it means could be a couple pages, or it could just be like a few paragraphs, or even 5 pages. My introduction phase is usually, when it comes down to it, the first two chapters. Then I delve into the story. So the first two chapters are always usually the hardest for me because then I have to work my way on what I want to do. That's why most stories, whenever I tell them, I go super fast through everything because in most of my stories, I have this world that's so vast and so just insane. For example, in one of my earlier works, I had a story about a time traveler, which I could post all these, or I could have them for sale for $1 or something like that. If that interests anyone. Legitly, um, this story that I had, I never finished it, but I got pretty far, was about a kid, and he had to go through some things, and believe it or not, it was in West Virginia, which is funny, because that's a big place. It was a post-apocalyptic thing, which is even more funny, because what major things going on, but it wasn't really post-apocalyptic in a sense. So it had to do with time travel and manipulation to how time works, and if you do one, it's pretty much every action has an equal opposite reaction. And if you did certain things, this would happen. If you did that, then that would happen. That's pretty much what the story went about. This kid finding out things that he never thought was actually real. And the story was set in the 1930s at first. It was a time traveling story, so went from 1930s. That's where the initial start out was, and that was actually kind of hard to write. And in its own sense, just that general prospect of this is the 1930s. What did they do in the 1930s that they have different? And I wrote this back when I was 16 years old, so that's even more of a prospect. All the way up until I was 18. So I did this, worked on this for at least 3 years, 2 years, and it was pretty cool. I delved farther into it where he went back to like the Roman era. It was pretty much whatever destruction, whatever happened in the universe happened for a reason, and it was more of a paranormal than a uh, what's the word for it, an environmental. So that was one cool thing. These stories, though, the ones that I'm working on are really difficult. One, I know how to write because I've been working on it for so many years. And the other is kind of difficult because you have to delve into the fantasy genre. So I created this whole world and then I'm condensing it into one story, which is really cool, but it's also difficult. Especially since the main character, this is why it's kind of hard to write the story. The main character doesn't have one trait of mind, and the progression of the character goes from really simple to very complex. And that's why it's really hard to write because the story is focused on one character. Now, that one character is just, she's a pretty cool person, but it's so hard. It's hard to write with one character that goes from something so simple to something so complex. That's why I have to do multiple rewrites. I think I'm on my third rewrite of just the introduction, and I have some of the body already. So some of the body, which means like in some context, would be I introduced everybody that's going to be in the story, and now I have placed them in a situation. That's the body of what's going on. I have the introduction done, and the body is being worked on. So that was really hard too because you get back into that whole root system of hey, you have all these characters. These are their personalities. You don't really derive if it's based on one character. You don't derive all their personalities. You know, you don't get hop into it and derive what drives them and all that right away. You hop into it, then you get into the meat when everybody starts talking and seeing what's what. With the main character, I always usually try to give them some sort of background. So I write, then I tell a little story, like backstory, like why this person's this way, and since it's kind of like a story legitimately about this person, then it's even worse. So with other stories, I usually don't center around one person, but multiple stories within one story. This one, I'm centering around how she perceives everything, but I don't do it in a first person perspective. It's more of like the narration and then whatever she's talking. And if she's talking to that person, then yeah. And then it's through her perspective. So whatever she saw, oh, it's more third person, but whatever she is witnessing around her would legitimately be that, which was kind of it's a hard story to write when it's not intro, it's outro. So yeah, usually I don't write like that much like that. Other than that, the writing aspect's really fun. I might write some more and post it at least to see if people would be interested in it. You know, maybe pitch it to someone. As for voice acting, I am still looking for work. I haven't been doing it much lately due to like a lot of things happening and not happening, I should say. I've been more interested in pursuing like my own personal happiness and not pursuing a job, which I really want to pursue in the future, which is legitly now. And now after that, so pretty much I just want a job and I actually don't know where my phone went. I had my phone here, right? And I'm looking for that. That's also a current thing in my life. See? What? What? Exactly. Um been playing a lot of games. I played Blessed that one time and then I don't take me as like not liking the game. I refunded it because I didn't like what the version the $70 version had on it. So it was semi false advertising. It was saying that you would get 2 pets, and a mount. That's what I understood. And then you would get 2 costumes, and they legitimately just gave you like a pet or 2 pets, and then costumes for your mount. And I thought that was really stupid, so I refunded the game, and I'm gonna get it again. It's actually a really fun game still. I recommend it for people who just want to sit back, relax, and enjoy a game. I've been playing a lot of ESO lately, which that's also why I decided to not purchase Bless and just let it sit there on in my library on Steam. And then I also been playing World of Warcraft. Overwatch has a lot coming out for it. World of Warcraft has a lot coming out for it. New games coming out. New genres coming out. I'm just joking. There's no new genres coming out. And I'm coming out with a couple new videos. One is going to be uploaded at the same time as this video. It's actually probably already uploaded onto YouTube before this video goes. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. And if you want, you could leave some comments on if you liked it or not, seeing if that might be a thing. If you liked it, then you could like it. I mean, I'm not gonna stop you from liking it. Oh boy, that would be cool. And if you want to see more videos, that's also one thing. I'm actually going to start doing this because I feel like if you want more, you should be subscribing to my channel. Oh boy, I said it. And that's all I have for this wait what, because I can legitimately just go on for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 minutes and pretty much have nothing to my name. I will probably actually make wait what's a little bit more general focused, focused in general focus in general, yada yada, because I feel like just randomly spouting to a screen about what I like and expecting some result makes no difference. I guess it's good for the soul. I should start doing this as like a video cast. Being like, dear diary, yesterday I saw a plum tree. A plum tree. You ever seen one of those? I've never seen one of those. Yeah. Yeah. And if you want to hear more voices too, I will do those too, because I like to do voices and it's really fun and I really really like it. And I'm gonna finish this wait what with a few words from Junkrat. Why not, from Overwatch? Cause I was talking about it earlier. Now, I just want to let you guys know that every day at the same time, it's a special time of the day where everybody gets in there and just you see this cowboy and he's sitting there and he's like, you know what time it is? You know what time it is? It's high noon. I want to die. Yeah, and that's my voice coming out, cutting out because I've talked too much. Anyway, see you guys in the future. Goodbye.